Hello. This is the Cutting Edge Review, and I am your reviewer. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to be doing a review of the last and the final in the franchise of Lethal Weapon 4. And this movie did pretty well in the box office. And right about this time, the movies were kind of, straying from the formula a little bit. Things were kind of seeming we're not the same anymore. They ran out of ideas basically. And Mel Gibson and Danny Glover come to reprise their roles. Chris Rock gets thrown into the fray. Renee Russo, I'm sorry, came and I don't know why she's on this movie to begin with. Actually, I don't know why, but anyways. And then Joe Pesci comes back to reprise his role. And in this movie, for the opening scene was kind of cartoonish to me. And if you could, sorry about that. If you could probably tell from the beginning that guys with blowtorches wearing quarantine suits and somewhere near downtown LA. I'm from the hood, you know what I mean? I grew up in bad neighborhoods, but don't see too many crimes being committed by guys with blowtorches. He just kind of decides to start torching some cars and things blow up, kind of like in a Michael Bay film, Michael Bay explosions. That opening scene is just concerned with visuals, and there's no rhyme or reason about why a guy decides to torch a couple cars, and Riggs blows them away, and then boom, blah, 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 blah. The explosion goes off. And then in this movie, Riggs and Murtaugh are they're getting older. Pretty soon they're going to be both in wheelchairs. And what happens on this movie, Riggs kind of is having trouble accepting that he's getting older. He has this, my God, this boxing match with this younger guy that's in better shape. He's younger, he's stronger. He loses the match, so he kind of just he doesn't want to at first he doesn't accept it, and Murtaugh's just trying to help him accept it. He's trying to be there for him. I mean, they're friends, right? He's had later on in the movie, he starts to, oh my God, what is wrong? And then he tries to, he finally accepts it midway through the movie because Jet Li also makes is introduced on this. Well, this is his first American film because he, as you guys well know, probably he had already been doing stuff in Hong Kong. He's already done a handful of movies over there, and this is introducing him to American audiences. And I love Jet Li, love his work. On this movie, he didn't speak any English. It's but that didn't mean squat because he was awesome. And this kind of launched his career here in America, and he's gone on to do. He's become a superstar since then. I mean, and we have Renee Russo on this movie. Renee Russo's kind of in the background a little bit. She's, she finds out she's pregnant, so she's just chilling and having a nice little cup of coffee with a spot of tea with Riggs. And she's pregnant. I mean, what can you do, right? You're not going to probably grab a semi-automatic rifle or a Uzi if you're pregnant and try to fight the bad guys on this movie. So she's just kind of in the background. My honest opinion about this, she doesn't have a whole lot of she didn't have a whole lot of chemistry with Mel Gibson on this movie, like on the last movie. And Joe Pesci returns also, and love Joe Pesci, love his work. He gives a fun-loving all-around guy in this movie, a comedic role for this movie. He's a real estate agent. He's trying to sell houses, and he's just kind of in the background also, though. But then they bring Chris Rock to this movie, and Chris Rock, honestly, I seen better roles on. I mean, probably his most dramatic role. If you guys remember that movie, New Jack City with Judd Nelson, and I see Chris Rock plays an addict on there, and that was an amazing role by Chris Rock. He was young, pretty young on that movie. But on this movie, he doesn't seem, he's kind of out of place on this movie. He doesn't really he's not doing a whole lot on this movie. Just kind of in the background. It's kind of like everybody else on this movie, just kind of in the background. And they're trying to end this movie, and you know, he plays a cop in this movie, and and Murtaugh is not aware that his daughter Rihanna is going out with him, and for some reason, Murtaugh thinks that Chris Rock likes him. He's some kind of homosexual thing going on there, and what turns out he's going to be his son-in-law. You know, he's married Rihanna, and Rihanna is, you know, she's also gets pregnant on this movie. So, you know what I mean? That this movie, they're trying to end this movie because there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. A lot of things blow up on this movie, like a Michael Bay film, and this movie was bashed by the critics, and I kind of agree with them on that. The only reason, like it was, like I said, it did good in the box office, and a lot of people went to see it, but I'm sure a lot of people were disappointed, like the rest of us here. And to me, it wasn't a good way to end the franchise, and unfortunately, we're not going to see these guys come and reprise their roles again. I mean, I saw, Harrison Ford come back and do Indiana Jones, but that's different, and that wasn't too successful either. But this movie, it talks about like selling humans, trafficking humans on this movie. You know, if you guys know, that's a real crime, of course, still occurring to this day. And they're smuggling humans from, so some of the refugees from Hong Kong, from China, and Riggs and Murtaugh stumble on this, and they also stumble on one of the lead baddie on this movie, the awesome Jet Li. And Jet Li, he's kind of just a guy that is just working for a guy who doesn't necessarily doesn't like the guy. He's working for the triads. His brother's in prison on this movie, and he just wants to get him out. That's what he's there for. He doesn't particularly care for what's going on around him on this movie, and there's a scene where he has this fight with Riggs and Murtaugh, and even Rene Russo's character gets thrown into the mix, and he kicks everybody's butt on this movie. And like I said, it kind of gives you the notion that everybody's getting older, everybody's having babies. They're all better friends now, and it's time to end this movie. And that's all they had kind of brought to the table. And Richard Donner returned to direct this movie. And I mean, overall, any Lethal Weapon is a must-see. And this movie's those of you who never saw it should go see it. And I give this movie a 6 out of 10 because there's not a whole lot of chemistry going on in this movie with any of the actors, and it was just kind of they were kind of just in there just because the director wanted to have all the key characters, and there was just a lot of unnecessary people thrown in this movie. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that because I don't think anybody qualifies to be in this movie. It's just when you got too many characters and you got too much of and then your premise is not. I mean, the premise wasn't too bad, but when you got character development, a lot of movies need character development. I don't think there was a whole lot of character development with Chris Rock on this movie, or what was happening. And that's why I give this movie a 6 out of 10. And there's talk about another Lethal Weapon, but we're not going to see Danny Glover come back. We're not going to see Mel Gibson come back. It's another unnecessary reboot. Honestly, I don't think these movies can be duplicated, and I don't think Mel Gibson or Danny Glover can really be duplicated. It's not going to work. And just being a Lethal Weapon fan, going to see the first one, when I was a kid, it was just an experience for me. And there's talk about a reboot in the works, and honestly, I don't think it's going to work. And if you guys never seen any of these movies, because we're 2015 here, it's not the 80s, that's the 90s. We need if you want to, you got to check these movies out. They're any Lethal Weapon is a must see. So like I said, and this movie, you get to see like everybody, kind of just has their children. They become big family. They're all friends. Why can't we be friends? And this movie, that's kind of how they ended it. And I don't think it was ended the way it should have, and unfortunately there's the last scene where, leads me to the last scene here where Danny Glover and Jet Li and Mel Gibson have a fight, and it takes the both of them, what I mean? Like I said, if Mel Gibson would have been in the same shape or, younger, like on the original Lethal Weapon, that classic fight scene he had with Gary Busey in the last scene, I think they kind of tried to, duplicate that fight scene, but I'm sorry they didn't do it. Jet Li was great. It's just, like I said, it was just watching two old guys try to have a fight with a really young, seriously bad guy like Jet Li on this movie. It didn't really work well, and but like I said, I love Lethal Weapon. I love these movies, and that's that pretty much chops it up here, for this movie. And I'll be watching like the rest of you. Don't know if I'm gonna go see a Lethal Weapon reboot. So this is the Cutting Edge. I am